In all honesty, I'm scared to say the truth. I'm scared to go out to, if I get fined again, I can't even pay for the first one. It's.
Well, you boys don't have to worry. We're not going to let this happen. You've submitted this at fightthefines.com.au, and we are going to take on this case, and we are going to fight this fine for you, because it makes no sense that two Victorians, two Aussies who want to contribute to our society while staying in the rules have been fined for doing exactly that. So I'm here in Melbourne with two brothers, Sean and Jack. Now, these blokes, they should be considered one of the lucky Victorians, because at the moment they have jobs, they're working, unlike most of the state. But unfortunately, that job came with a price. So not sure if you've been following, but if you have, our last Fight the Fines update, I got to share with you our first exciting win. And I also promised you then that I will bring you up to date with some of the other cases that we've taken on that I just haven't had the chance to really tell their stories. At the peak of Melbourne's extreme lockdown, I caught up with two brothers, Sean and Jack, that you just saw there. They'd been fined almost $3,500 for stopping on the side of the road on their way to work, lawful work.
I pulled over because I was feeling a bit sick, and the police pulled in pretty much straight after. I hadn't even turned the car off yet. They started hounding us about masks, and I told them, look, we live in the same house, so we don't need to. Then they started saying that we were there for drugs, like we're meeting people there. They searched the car. I've never had the car searched ever. They searched the car, found nothing. Then they said, look, we're going to have to talk to our sergeant to see whether we're going to fine you or not. And then we got the fine in the mail. So
the fine was not for drugs, was it?
No. The fine was for being someplace without a reason.
But you're on your way to work?
Yeah. And
you go there every day?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I go through the checkpoint every day, and I've been cleared every time, so I don't understand.
This is a repeating pattern we keep seeing. Police abusing emergency COVID powers that they've been given to justify their authoritarian behaviour. And it's exactly why we launched fightthefines.com.au campaign, to give people like Sean and Jack the proper representation they need to deal with the police prosecutor, and if they have to, a judge in court. Thank you, Madeline, for joining us again, and thank you for this time taking on Sean and Jack's case. I know it was a while ago we touched base when we originally took on this case, but I'm finally getting around to telling their story. So I guess, can you give us an update? Where are we?
So Jack and Sean have both submitted an application for internal review of the infringements issued to them. At this stage, Sean has received a response to that. The response is a rejection of his application. My understanding is that at this stage, Jack hasn't, but we can assume that his matter will likely follow a similar course.
And we can assume that not just because his brother had that outcome, because pretty much I haven't seen one that has been put through review through fightthefines.com.au. All the cases we've seen there, they've all been rejected at that internal review. Is that right?
The internal reviews that we've seen receive a response have all been rejected. My understanding is that is an experience that other law firms across Victoria are reporting as well.
$3,300 between the two of you for going to work. How do you feel about that?
I think it's appalling. The police should be there to protect us, not to fine us just for pulling over for my brother feeling sick.
Jack is right. It's absolutely appalling. All of this. And the worst part of this is that just engaging a lawyer to fight the fine, in or out of court, costs a lot more than the outrageous fine itself. But it's a principle. And it's why we launched fightthefines.com.au. So together, as a community, we can chip in to defend people like these two hardworking brothers. So what we're going to do, everyone at home, is going to chip in to fight for your cause. You've spoken already to Madeline, the gun lawyer.
Yes, I have.
As with all legal matters, it's always advisable to have a lawyer representing you if you can. I understand there are financial issues preventing many people engaging a lawyer, particularly when the infringement value is, 16
less than the cost of a lawyer.
Yeah, less than what we would ordinarily charge to finalise the matter. But in any event, it is very helpful to have a lawyer who understands the process, who understands the law in this area. The directions are very complicated. And as we've seen with Tony, he was of the view that he didn't have a defence, and ultimately was given advice that actually, no, he did have a defence, and his matter was ultimately withdrawn when that discussion was had with the prosecution.
We're going to fight for you, and we're going to hopefully win it, and everybody at home can help support the fines at fightthefines.com.au. How does it feel to know that there are people, thousands of people in Australia, around the world, that are going to stand up to defend your right to go to work?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You guys, Rebel News, yeah, amazing. Well done.
If you love this idea to fight the fines down under as much as I do, make sure to hit the like button below and share the video far and wide, because you never know who on your friends or family list can benefit from this campaign or able to help us help others. Again, fightthefines.com.au.